When I started out treating people, the best part of 30 odd years ago, I didn't really have a template. I didn't really know many other people that were doing the job or doing the business, and I sort of had to make things up as I went along, and with mixed results in terms of setting a business up or getting clients in. My business originally, I was doing it part-time. I was sort of having to work full-time and fit things around, so there was a lot of time where I was sort of busy, cash rich almost, but time poor, and I had a young family, and so there were a lot of things that would happen that were quite annoying in terms of no shows or people not telling me certain things, and just making life difficult for me. Then I also, looking on things like Facebook and around the place and talking to lots of people who, women particularly, who work by themselves, there seems to be a section of the populace that make unpleasant and unwarranted requests in relation to that contact. And so over the years what I've done is I've created a system which will create a bit of safety, and it will eliminate no-shows for you, and it will speed up the whole process. It's a little bit of involvement and a tiny bit of expense, but I can absolutely promise you that it's worth doing. So the first port of call is whenever I have a new client starting, I always ask for three things over the booking. I've checked that they're not seeing any other therapists. I don't want to mix my therapist with somebody else. That's just a personal thing, and that's entirely up to you as to whether you do that. Secondly, I want to be clear about the fact that I'm not just interested in booking them in for one session. The work that I do isn't just about relaxation or people fishing around for therapies. We're looking for 2 or 3 sessions, and so I will always book them in for 2 and preferably even 3. Again, whether you pay them for that or not is entirely up to you. And that's these are hard boundaries. And the third thing I will do is I will get their name and their address, their postal address, as well as their email address and their phone number. And the reason that I'm going to do that is because I'm going to write to them. I'm going to send them a letter. Now, you're not going to get time wasters and people asking for, perverts, if you like, asking for things. They're not going to give you their address. And so that wheedles people out straight away. If they're not prepared to give you their address, then, that's a no-brainer. Now, some people might not want to. They don't know me. That's absolutely fine. And I may make an exception as far as that's concerned. But generally speaking, I'm going to send them some stuff and they're going to know why. And what I'm going to send them is I'm going to send them a letter. And the letter is 2 or 3 pages, and it says to them, dear so-and-so, this is your the date and the time of your appointment. So I will put that in bold, and the time. So again, remember the day, the date, the time. I've missed appointments because I've got the wrong date and the wrong time. The wrong day as much as anything else. And then it tells them a little about the appointment and the address that they're coming to. Where are they coming to? And again, I put this in bold, and because my assumption is they're going to bring this with them. It describes the entrance to where I work from. And then I talk about a few little things, some headlines here. So COVID security, my fees, my cancellation, things I ask them to bring if they're on any medication. Also, if they have mobility issues, is the house or the place that you're working from accessible? Do people have to climb any steps? What my policy is on cancellation. And I also always invite anybody to bring a chaperone. If they're coming to me, they don't know who I am, and they're more than welcome to do that. And again, I might put a little bit of post-session advice and some more information they can find out about the treatment that I do. Then what I'll do is I will print off a map. Normally this is in colour, but I've just put this in black and white shape. I'll print off a map, which will be a Google map. And again, I will put the address at the top of this in terms of where I'm working out from. And it'll have the phone number and the postcode. And again, I'm assuming that people are going to want to print that. On this map here, again in colour, I will have green where they can park. I might have other relevant information like a bus stop or if there's any public transport. If there's parking they have to pay for, I'll tell them how much it is. I'll tell them what the code for the phone in is. If it's one of those pay by phone things, they can do that, or if where the bus stop is. And then on top of that also, I will send them a picture which is, in this instance, it isn't Street View because it doesn't really work for where I'm working out of, but I've taken a couple of pictures with my phone so they can just see the area and the locality that they're in, and they know where they're coming to. And I say that in that, if I have leaflets, which I don't have at the moment, but I'd say I've included a couple of leaflets, one for you, one for a friend. And I put that in an envelope and I handwrite the envelope, put a stamp on it, and I send that to them if I've got time. If it's a last minute appointment or it's only a couple of days, then I will send that, obviously email that to them. And what this does is a couple of things. As I said to you, it wheedles out time wasters and people that are looking for services that you don't offer. And secondly, it reassures somebody. It might be a week or even 10 days before somebody's coming to see me, but what they have now is they have this landing on their doorstep, and it means that they can see that I'm efficient, that I'm caring, that I know what I'm doing. And it's things like, what to wear in a session, and things like that are unknowns that maybe people aren't sure about, but it's in there, and now there's that reassurance. And actually the treatment started, the reception, if you like, is started long before they even get to see me. And the result is that they tend to be more relaxed, they tend to be a little bit more confident in the outcome, and the responses are going to be phenomenal. And of course, as I said, I eliminate those no-shows. They just don't happen. People don't cancel. They have something, they feel they have a contract, they feel they know me in some respects already, and it's really, really valuable. The whole thing, was an envelope, a couple of sheets of paper, and a stamp. In the UK, it's going to cost you under £2, and wherever else you are in the world, depending on your postal service, of course, then I suggest you do it. And it really is a massively effective way of building your client base, working on expectations, and helping your client on a better pathway. There's so many times that I've been to places and the directions aren't very good, or it's not explained very well, or whatever it happens to be, and that's frustrating. It sort of sets you off at the wrong start, if you like. So I like to do this, is it gets everybody off on the right foot. Every single bit of detail that you can think about is in there, not massively explained or complicated, but there's also some visual cues for people who don't necessarily read very well. And I've also put the lettering for the address in bold, so that if somebody has it on their car seat, they can look down and they can see what it is. So I think it's just it's transformational in many respects for a lot of people, and it's just a little tip to keep you busier and make sure you're not wasting your time on a day waiting for somebody to turn up. A caveat to this: a client has just arrived. I didn't post it to her. I emailed it to her. Did she print it off? No. So what did she do? She ended up in the wrong portway on the other side of the county, and here she is.
I made it eventually.
She did get here, but, print it, post it. Trust me on this. Good job, I know her.